Welcome to Moonlight Madness, and this is a reading for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, November 2021. The decks I'll be using today are the Fairy Tarot deck by Doreen and Radleigh Valentine, the Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette-Baron-Reid, and we've got the Enchanted map by Colette-Baron-Reid. Okay, so the first card I pulled was the Princess of Spring. This is to do with if you've got maybe in your chart, it could be a Cancer with a Sag, Aries or Leo moon. It's someone who's the life of the party. They're the most fun you'll ever have. They could be a singer, a dancer. They could be a person that's, a stage person who's out there that does like a performer basically. They're a natural performer, and they are good at marketing plans and good at organising party planning. Maybe they do a party planning. They could be sort of a Tupperware person or a body shop person, but it's saying that this person can organise a big staff of people and still manage to pull off being a parent as well. They're multitaskers. So there's that. They like to paint, sing and draw. And then you've got here the Seven of Cups, and that's to do with procrastinating. Maybe there's a few things you need to do today, like you have 7 opportunities. Maybe you're trying to get to a job. Maybe you are trying to balance your budget. Maybe you are trying to get your career on the road, a sideline project, get an education, get a degree. All of these things you're trying to juggle, and there's like 7 different choices of which one. It says try not to scatter your energy everywhere, because by scattering your energy you can't focus on the thing in front of you. In the past, it's the Four of Wands. Be grateful, and you have much to celebrate. Deep feelings of peace and happiness and a contented personal life. So maybe in the past you had a house that you lived in, or a castle perhaps, that you really enjoyed living in, with lots of families and social gatherings, and maybe there was lots of events you had to attend. And then you've got, in the recent past, you've got the Strength card, which is a really nice card. This is to do with being strong for others in the past. Maybe your kindness was mistaken for weakness because you're so generous, being that in your chart. And it says maybe you had a Leo or in your chart, in your realm as a friend. And it talks about embracing the strength that you have to get through many obstacles in life. And then we have the Six of Cups, and that's to do with thinking about the past, looking at old photographs, old memories, old home movies, listening to tapes, songs. Maybe you're just going around things and reminding yourself of past events and the simple things in life, because we take them for granted. Everything's gotten so chaotic in the world. It's all in a mess. Everyone's so busy trying to be someone that we forget to take pleasure in the simple things like family, friends and loved ones, and trying to remember that the most important things are the littlest things. The little things you remember about your past are the things that make us buoy along. They're the happy memories that we make every day. It might be something as simple as going to the museum or taking your son to SeaWorld. Something little like that is a massive event in that child's life. For some people in this world, you are everything to them. You could be their world. And we've got Sad Embrace. That's that one there. It talks about grief. We're all going through grief at the moment. Everyone's lost someone this year. Everyone's lost someone during COVID. It's been a horrific ride for the last couple of years. We've also lost some famous TV personalities and famous movie stars and people that are from our own hometown, like Bert Newton. He was a much loved celebrity. It's like an entire era has passed. You may be entering into a period where loss is a theme. Perhaps you're having to let go of a long cherished dream. If so, take heart, for this ending may have been for your highest good. A better and more powerful dream will be realised in the life if you can accept the loss. Relationships based on faulty foundations are meant to end at this time. Disappointment is a form of perception. If your expectations weren't met, a sense of loss arises along with sadness and grief. Express these emotions. Tears are like healing rain that can restore life to a parched inner landscape. Growth is always assured. Whatever the loss, however great it is, let go and experience your feelings so you may see what beauty lies ahead. Yeah, just be grateful you woke up today. That's what I said to someone the other day. And then I got here, coming apart, 46. Now's the time to take separate paths. It's a sign to put an end to what is no longer working for you. Has a commitment been broken? Perhaps you need to break a promise or change course because you took on more than you could handle. This is a perfect time to assess your goals and values and your actions in alignment with you and what you believe in. Have you created a partnership that is not mutually benefit? Separation, disillusion, and dispersion are all in focus now. If someone wishes to break away from you, don't chase the relationship out of a sense of fear. The price you pay will not be worth the prize. Separation brings good fortune. Okay, deep freeze. This is my card of sleep. This is like the Four of Swords in the tarot deck. It talks about, there's another lion figure again, in a deep freeze. Someone might be in hospital or, like in my grandfather's situation, under anaesthetic. So they're peaceful, they're resting. This is good. Then they can heal. 26. Best things to do is when you're under anaesthetic is you get to heal. They get to fix whatever's wrong. Okay. The cold winter beckons you to slow down and put a freeze on things that you are not ready to bloom. It's time. It's time for regeneration and hibernation. Forgo ambitious activity. It's like a pregnant pause. Allow ideas to gestate, projects to shift and change, and relationships to go through a very dreamy state of being, not going anywhere, not needing to. This is also a time to put all your arguments on ice. That's very good advice. Nothing comes out of arguing. Nothing beneficial will come out of any of it. Self-care is the most important activity now. So reflect, read a good book, get a massage, rest and dream. Sometimes we're so busy doing things that we forget to just be. We're human beings, not human doings. I think I've been so busy walking and exercising and being healthy, but you can burn out that way, get really sick, and you can have mirages in the desert because you've under too much heat. They say mirage comes from lack of food and water. And so you need to kind of pace yourself. I think this is what COVID has taught us, that we need to pace ourselves. Not go screeching 1,000 miles an hour like the Page of Swords. Slow down and be a pentacle. Be that slow moving. I think on one of the cards it's got a picture of a leaf and the little boy's floating down the river on this leaf, and it's slow moving energy. We need to be more in our slow moving energy, Cancerians. So that's what it's saying there. And the next card we've got is the love card. This is the crystal I've got from Rainbow Runner. Ace of Summer. This is to do with new love coming in for you. Could be with another water sign, or it could be opening up of your spiritual gifts. So it could be you're going up another level, being enlightened. Ascension, they call it. It's just open your heart to love. The beginning of a new intimate relationship or the rebirth of a current one. The awakening of psychic abilities or spiritual epiphanies. So there's the dove. It's the sign of peace as well. And the lotus flower is like something small grows into something magnificent because it's just a seed and it develops and it's like in an embryonic state. And then it comes and bursts out as a beautiful lotus flower. Just peacefully sitting on the water. Maybe you need to go to a spa retreat like Gaia. That'd be a nice place to go. I'd love to win a trip there. It's very relaxing. They've got lots of yoga and hot stones and hot therapies. Ace of Summer. This is the beginning. It's the opening, the birth or a rebirth of love. So maybe you've had a falling out with someone, and this may be a way to reconnect. Usually during Christmas, people reconnect. A message of love, flirtation, empathy for those around you, very close platonic relationships, and finding a new home. This card says it's a new person who enters your life, or it can represent a new phase of emotional intimacy with a current partner. In order to attain fulfillment in your emotional life, you must first open your heart to love. This includes believing in yourself and your worthiness to be loved. When faced with an outpouring of affection, allow love to flow freely from your own heart, knowing that you deserve it in return. The card can also indicate the awakening of new psychic abilities or spiritual epiphanies. Watch for signs. Yeah. Empathy for people around you. This card is the Eight of Autumn. This is about choices of Pentacles is 8 months' time. In 8 months' time, you could be doing an education or a scholarship or an apprenticeship in a form of a seminar. It's the card of university, college, things like that. Education, excellent craftsmanship, being paid well for high quality work, long-term projects, work that represents who you are, and doing research. Learn everything you can. It may be time to return to school or get more training in the skills you seek. This could also involve taking seminars, furthering your professional development, or even going back to college. Perhaps you'll gain a skill as an apprentice or provide instruction as a mentor. If you'd like to change careers, now might be the time. The energy you put into your job is recognised and appreciated by everyone, including the fairies. The law of attraction returns your energy in the form of prosperity, abundance, and advancement. A little girl learns a trade from her grandmother, who is her mentor. She is careful to write down everything her teacher is telling her. So you may be in a classroom setting at the moment, Cancer, Sun, Moon and Rising, for November 2021, and you may be learning something, or maybe you're learning some really hard lessons in life. Maybe you've had to go through a death and then come out the other side to be reborn in a new form. Energy never dies, it just simply changes form. You know, you could be walking along and you could see a bird and it just might start wanting to chat with you. That's a message, that's a sign from heaven, from God, to tell you that there is something you need to pay attention to, some sort of communication you need to work on. Because air signs are to do with communication, so the birds represent communication with the spirit world. The willy wagtail is apparently a bird that communicates with the dead and with the living. They bring news from the people that have passed over to the living. It's like a messenger bird. And people around you is a queen of autumn. Stylish, gracious, practical. This is to respect how you proceed. Meeting someone who can help your dreams come true. A fairy godmother. A Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo around you. They're very good at making things look beautiful out of nothing. My mother's always been the one to go to the side of the road and find something that someone's left as someone's trash, as someone else's treasure, and she'd bring it home and it was a treasure and it was a find. People throw things away that there's nothing wrong with them. I found a beautiful heater on the side of the road. It was still working. And so, yeah, you can make things look beautiful even if they're from secondhand shops, which I've frequented my entire life. This person likes to spend money. They like to see their growth around them. They like to see that all the work that they've put into their house or whatever their people or whatever they've put into, whether it be their career or the work they put into their children, they want to see that prosper and see that child prosper, because that's a reflection of how they have parented. This is why parents are excited when they see their kids working and exploring and creating and furthering themselves, because it means that they've done a good job by parenting them. Okay, then you've got here around you. This is hopes and fears. Make it your hope to be a high priestess. Trusting your intuition, careful reflection before taking action. Insights that come through walking, writing, drawing, reading. You need to find ways to unwind that don't necessarily need anything else. Just a way to look at a point in time or focus on a point, and deep breathing like Tai Chi or yoga exercises are really good for calming the mind. Just laying down, I find in the bath at night time if I can't sleep, I have the hot water running, or sometimes it's cold water even, and just laying there and let the water wash over you, or lay in a bathtub with sea salt to calm those emotions down. The High Priestess is also to do with knowing things that most people shouldn't know. You have the intuition, and most people have it, but they don't always use it. So follow the hunches. If you see these things coming, these messages, hold on to them, write them down, make a diary of them if you have a dream diary, or just draw a picture of them so you've got a memory or a way to express whatever is germinating in your subconscious mind to bring about the message that you're trying to give to others. Then we have here, this is lapis, which is enhancing intuition. And for sleep, howlite is really good for sleep. I find curtains drawn really good, or a weighted blanket and a little fan going, that always puts me to sleep. And it's saying here you need time for more sleep, more reflection, more downtime, more rest. Solutions come when we're not so focused on an outcome. I think Einstein discovered, was it Einstein? No, Ben Franklin discovered electricity by going outside and flying a kite, something completely off bat. But he must have thought outside the box of thinking about a kite in order to hit the key, in order to create that electricity. Sometimes you have to do something different in order to get a solution to an answer, to something you can't answer, by taking yourself away from the problem for a while and doing something completely different to what you're trying to work on. Unfinished Symphony. That's the next card. And that's in the power of the Wisdom of the Oracle. Number 10. It's like she's playing an instrument, a piano. Rest and recovery for Cancer. Unfinished business is an incomplete lesson, lack of closure, need to make amends. This is a time to tie up loose ends as you near the completion of a cycle or a project and mastery of a lesson or a skill. Before you can move forward, it's important you learn to come to terms with where you are now, practice radical acceptance, take inventory on that emotional and psychological closure, and then answers you seek will be found. You can't move forward if you are leaving things unfinished. Reflect on what has passed so that the symphony can finally end on a high note. Moving on is difficult when love lingers. Things are left unsaid and you haven't had the opportunity for closure. In a relationship, you can still feel bound up in it. It's important to achieve this for yourself. Write that letter, make that call, or have that conversation. For peace of mind, accept matters as they are. Make amends if need be, and declare your feelings if only to yourself. Be clear about what was left unresolved, and close the door on the past. You can set yourself free. Only then can new love blossom. Make sure you complete your projects before starting new ones. Perhaps you've created something special that will increase your sense of abundance and bring you opportunities for wealth. However, if you don't see it through, it won't add up anything, but more clutter. Now's the time to put that nose to the grindstone and complete the tasks that have accumulated. Pay your bills, sign that document, do your filing, hand in an assignment, complete a work of art, tie up loose ends so you can move forward with surety, knowing you're on the prosperous path and feeling refreshed and excited about the future. You may have been born under a Libra moon because you've got truth be told, which is to do with legal and financials. Librans like balanced outcomes. They like balanced people, balanced ways of dealing with people. They despise emotion because they are so emotional themselves. So when people react or overreact in front of them, it really sends them off kilter. They like that perfect equilibrium between night and day, black and white, yin and yang. 14. So when you make a decision, make it when you are calm and not upset. Don't make decisions when you're upset. They will be the wrong decisions. I've made many a decision based on when I was upset, and it was usually the wrong one. Honesty, accepting things at face value, coming out of denial, willingness to be transparent. There is a truth with the essence of a thing, and then there is a truth subjecting according to the philosophy of the adherent or believer. This is not a time for debate about which truth is truer. This is a time when you are called to proclaim your truth out loud and be willing to communicate with others and with yourself. Nothing less than surrender to what is, peeling off the layers of denial that kept you tied to an illusion. Be authentic and glorious. Flawed and spirit will answer with miracles. People tell you who they are very quickly if you're willing to listen to what they say and pay attention to how they behave. This card calls you to engage in heartfelt, open conversation. It's time to see the truth about what you share with each other and tell the truth about who you are and what you need. No one can do that for you. We're not mind readers, not all of us anyway. Remember that your truth is always based in your personality and experience up to now. A higher truth will be found after you communicate honestly. See how doing so has helped you become more attuned to yourself. Don't hold back. Speak your truth and listen. Are you willing to do whatever it takes to experience the prosperous life you desire? If you want to be an artist, do you make art a priority? If you want to be a healer, do you set time aside to learn new things to help you serve better? A writer must write and a singer must sing. Being true to your calling is essential to your moving forward. There is another oracle message here too. It's time to have a look at the real, honest truth about your thoughts, feelings and beliefs, about prosperity, about your relationship to money, to compensation and to meaningful work. Ask yourself, what is true for me? And you'll find the key to abundance. Where are you being dishonest with yourself or others? If you're unhappy in any area of your life, look for signs of denial. This can also pertain to others being misleading or withholding or acting from their hidden agendas. Now is the time to say no to dishonesty in all forms. Ask for the truth, even if you don't like to hear the answer. Acknowledging it will be key to a beautiful new future. Set yourself free. Nothing less than the truth is required now. That's what I keep telling people. It's okay to tell a white lie here and there, but if you honestly just say, look, this is how I feel, people will then go, oh, well, they can't argue with that because that's your truth. This is how I feel. If you have an argument with people, the argument, it's not who wants to be heard or who's got the loudest voice that wins the argument. It's speaking your truth. You just need to be honest and say, look, I feel this when you do this. Not you're the fault, you're the problem, you're the reason. You. I feel this way when you do this. Open lines of communication. I learnt that from a self-help book. Hopefully this helps some cancers out there. And, you have to dig in your emotions here and there, but maybe you can do it without being argumentative or blaming anyone.